Hey guys, welcome to another video, and oh my god, I know it's been a little bit. Sorry, I've been feeling pretty sick lately for the past week, so I haven't been really having the energy to shoot some videos, but I have a few videos coming out for you guys, so look forward to that. And this one I've been really wanting to talk about because this is a movie I've been wanting to see and just excited for because it's Scream. It's Scream 5. Or Scream 2022. I fucking hate that they do titles like that. And yes, don't worry, the film is very meta, so it talks about that. So this one, I'm going into full spoilers. The movie's been out for a few days now. I wanted to do a whole spoiler talk because I just wanted to talk about all the things that annoyed me about this movie. And I just didn't want to make two separate videos, so I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the movie, but also go into spoilers. I'm not going to go into all the spoilers, just the spoilers that bothered me. So, yeah, everyone knows I was looking forward to this movie. I did a whole thing about the trailer. When the trailer came out a couple months ago, I thought the trailer looked fucking awesome, looked badass, and I'm a huge Scream fan. I grew up with Scream. And I like all four of the films. I have a huge guilty pleasure for the third one. I think the fourth one is so underrated. And the first two are fucking classic slasher films and some of the best horror comedies ever made. I love Scream. I grew up with Scream. And I know a lot of people who grew up with Scream, they're loving this new movie. They love it. They love it. And even some of the new fandoms to Scream are loving it too. The majority of the fan base loves this new Scream movie. And you know what? That's great. Honestly, that's really good. I'm not here to take that away from you. I'm not here to say you're wrong for liking it. If you want to like this movie, you think this is a damn good movie, the best Scream movie since the first one, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I don't agree. I will fully say this is the only Scream film I do not like. I like all of them. I told you I have a soft spot for the third one, even though it's a ridiculous film, and there's some things that just are just asinine, but I still have a guilty pleasure for it. And I love the fourth one. The fourth one's super underrated. It was a little panned by critics, but I loved it. I thought it was great. And all four films, they all make sense within the story of Scream. And again, those movies had Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson. Kevin Williamson is an amazing writer, and he wrote great characters, great jokes, and just wrote great stories for the Scream movies. And he made them creepy, but also very funny and meta, and he really made these movies work. Same with Wes Craven. Wes Craven directed all these films, and these movies are missing those two key components. Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson. I know Wes Craven has passed away, so you can't get Wes Craven, but this movie was also missing Kevin Williamson. He really should have wrote the script for this movie. And I think he could have done something a lot better than what we got. Yes, the movie is directed from the directors. Yes, this movie is directed by the people who did Ready or Not and stuff, which is an okay horror comedy. But for some reason, the directing style of this movie I was not a fan of. It felt cheap looking. It looked very low budget, and the writing was super on the nose. And just the stuff they do with some of the characters were atrocious. Things make no sense. This movie doesn't make any sense. And the movie is trying to create a new, I guess, Scream franchise for the new generation. And they've tried to do that already with the MTV show Scream. And that's what this movie feels like. The MTV movie Scream. And I hated that show. I watched like 2 episodes and I couldn't stand it. This one is almost similar. It's just more bloody and got more F words and stuff. There's stuff I liked. How about I just talk about the positives first? Because there's a lot of negatives. And again, I'm gonna say, guys, if you like this movie, you think this is a great film, that's great. That's fine. Look, I'm not here to say you're wrong. These are just my feelings and how I feel about the film. First thing I liked was David Arquette. I don't like what they did with his character. I hated that they made him kind of like a loser in the movie. I hate that he is broken up with Gail in this. I'm like, no, I don't buy it. Dewey and Gail, just, in the way why they broke up, because like they moved to a different city and he couldn't handle it. Dewey always made the relationship with Gail work. Gail is always the one that gave up on the relationship. Dewey never gave up. But the fact that they made Dewey give up, I did not like it, and he's just kind of like this washed up loser in the movie. I hated that. I really did not like what they did with this character. However, David Arquette's performance is fantastic in this movie. He is so good in this movie. I think he gives the best performance he has given in any Scream film, performance-wise. They don't make him an idiot in the movie. He's an idiot in a lot of the Scream films. He's very stupid. That's why they call him Doofus. And he's actually quite intelligent until he dies. And I have no problem with them killing any of the legacy characters. If they were gonna kill Sidney, Gale, and Dewey, like I'm okay with that. Like that, it's a slasher film. People are gonna die, and I'm okay with Dewey dying. And even how he died is kind of stupid as it was. I think his decision making. He was a police officer for almost 20 years. I think he should know better to stand that close to a person with a knife and wants to kill you. I think he died kind of stupidly, but I'm still glad he gave a good performance, and I liked his acting in the movie, so that is a positive for that. There are a couple kills, actually, I thought were pretty creative. Again, I think some of the critics are overhyping it when they're saying this is the bloodiest Scream movie. That is 100% not true. I think Scream 4 is the bloodiest. If you've seen some of the kills in Scream 4, they copy a lot of those kills in this movie. They even copy kills from the first Scream. So at least Scream 4 had very unique and different kills. Especially the kill with the cop in the face. That was fucking badass. But there are bloody, and there are some pretty creative carnage in the film, and that was awesome. When you get the legacy characters, they're great. They are borderline cameos, but they're great. I love seeing Sidney, and I love seeing Gale. Sidney's the best final girl in any horror film. I want more of her, really do. She is not a huge character in the film, which was very sad to see, but she is in it, and she is great for what she is in the film. And I'd say the acting by pretty much most of the cast is good. There's not really any bad performances. They're all pretty good in the movie. There's no like bad performance or sloppy, loosey-goosey or anything. For the most part, the performances are very good. I even think the score is really good, too. It's a very good score. It's really intense. And, yeah, I thought it was well laid out. Even some of the comedy was kind of funny. Some of it. Some of it, again, was a little on the nose, but they still keep up with the meta humor and everything. All that's cool, and it was a lot of fun and some funny-ass moments in this movie. So what I did not like? I hate these new characters. As much as I said they all gave good performances. That is no blame on these actors. They all did their job very well. Their job is to act, and they did their job very well. This is all on the writers. These characters are horrible characters. I did not give a flying shit about any of these fucking characters. I did not care who lived, did not care who died, and when they revealed the killer, I was like, oh, okay. And that is a huge negative, because I always care about the reveal in Scream. That's what makes Scream awesome, and every time the killer is revealed in Scream, it's always a good twist. And it always gives these characters their moment to shine and be all crazy and stuff. And it's a lot of fun to watch. Every Scream movie does it. In the first film, you got Billy Loomis and Stu just chewing the scenery. And Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich is just amazing. And they're going all nuts and they're stabbing each other. Great scene. Scream 2, you get Billy Loomis's mother. And then you get Mickey, played by Timothy Olyphant. And the two of them, again, just chew the scenery. And even the third one, you get the director, Roman. He's a lot of fun. He's all wacky and crazy and stuff. And then the fourth one, you get Jill, one of my favorite killers in Scream, as Sidney Prescott's cousin. She is an incredible killer. She is just insane when she's like bashing her face off the fucking picture frame and throwing herself on the table. It is a lot of fun to watch. And she almost gets away with it, too. What are you, Michael fucking Myers? It's so great. Like, all of that is so much fun to watch, but, like, these people weren't fun to watch. I just didn't care, and when characters were dying and stabbed, I didn't care. I just did not care. I remember in Scream 2 when Randy died, I was like, no, Randy, no. I remember in like Scream 4 when Kirby died. I'm like, no, that's my favorite character. I love Kirby. When this one, I just didn't give two fucks. And I hated that they're all like connected in a way to all the Scream films, and everyone loves that, and I hate that. Like, why? Why do they need to be? Why do they need to be connected? Why? Why can't they just be new characters? And there's a new Ghostface. Like, why? Why do they all have to be connected in some way? It's so dumb, and how they're connected is, I think, ridiculous. I think all the connections are stupid. I'm like, okay, what? Like, one of this girl, her name is Sam Carpenter. Oh, get it? And she's the daughter of Billy Loomis. I'm like, huh? And again, a lot of people were like, whoa, what a good twist. I'm like, I guess. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, I guess he could have had a daughter at 17 years old, the same year or month that he died. Very coincidence, but I guess it's possible. But I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch right there, especially even how the dates line up. It's a little bit of a stretch right there. And the fact that they get like Skeet Ulrich to show up in the movie, he's like tempting her. He's like he's like Palpatine, like, do it, join the dark side. It's a bit silly. Some people thought it was cool. I was almost laughing, like, really? They're doing this? Okay. Why? I don't know. Oh, God. And then even the character Wes is Officer Judy's son. Judy Hicks's son, Wes Hicks. And I'm like, even that kind of makes no sense to me, because we see Judy in Scream 4, and she has no kids. She never mentioned she has kids. Her entire life is her job. So did she have a son after? And if she did, he'd be 10 years old, not 18 years old. So he would have to be 8 years old in Scream 4. And we never see this kid in Scream 4. I don't know. I guess it can kind of make sense. I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch. It just, I don't know. In a lot of these connections, I don't buy it. I guess some of the fans can buy it. Like, I get it, I guess, but I don't buy it personally. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think Billy Loomis would have a kid at 17. I would believe he maybe cheated on Sydney, like he was a piece of shit. But like, having a kid, same year he died, awful coincidence. And the girl actually kept the kid, and the dad was a serial killer. I'm like, I don't know. That's a huge stretch right there. And then Judy has this son this whole time. She like kind of kept it secret. I don't know. A lot of this is a big stretch right here. It's like, I don't know. The connections were very off to me. I'm like, this is what happens when you make a sequel and you try to connect these characters to like past films. And I'm like, the timelines and dates, they get all jumbled and they just don't really work. And I'm like, why are you doing that? What's wrong with just making new characters? Like, just bring in new characters. That's it. In Scream 4, all they brought was Jill. That's it. That was the only connection. They all were new characters. Scream 3, all new characters. Scream 2, all new characters. And these characters all have to have a connection somehow. And I don't understand why. And I did not like it at all. And I didn't like these kids. I didn't like any of them. I didn't like any of these new characters. When the legacy characters came back, I was like, oh, thank God. Please, Gale, mouth somebody off, and Sidney, grab a gun and shoot somebody. Oh, my God. Dewey, say something funny. Like, I don't know. Like, come on now. And I want to like the new characters, because most of the Scream movies, I like these new characters. I love the new characters in Scream 4. They're great characters. I love even the characters in Scream 2 and Scream 1. Scream 3 has a lot of them I don't like, but I still like Sidney and Dewey and Gale and stuff. And they're not very big in this movie, sadly. And there's also a thing I don't like that they did this movie, is the toxic fandom thing. I know there's some people that are talking about this. Some people love this too. I don't like it. I don't understand it. So apparently in this world that everyone knows about, in the Scream world, there's the Stab movies. They're like these movies based off Scream and Sidney Prescott's story. But after like Stab 3, they did their own thing and stuff. And then when Stab 8 came out, it was directed by Rian Johnson. Do you know where I'm going with this? I'm like, oh my god, they're doing this. Are you fucking kidding me? And then the serial killers in this movie hate that movie so much, and they're so toxic about the new stab movies, they think everything should go back to the original. And they're killing people because they ruined the franchise. And it all should go back to the original. So the serial killers are toxic fans. And they want things to go back to the original. And they don't like anything new and fresh and stuff. You've got to be fucking kidding. I'm not making this shit up. Like, that's actually how it is. And that is so stupid. That is fucking dumb for me. Some people think that's so clever. It's a great commentary of the fandom and the nerds and how everyone bashed Star Wars and Rian Johnson and stuff. I'm like, what? Oh my god, this movie's almost like a fuck you to like people who hated the new Star Wars movies in a way. Like, why? Like, why did you do this? Like, you're attacking toxic fans by being a toxic fan. And you're basically saying toxic fans are just like serial killers. Like, I don't know what the messaging is they're going for, or they're just satirizing toxic fans. I'm all for satirizing toxic fans, but I don't know where they're going with this. I'm like, this is a little extreme. This is more extreme satire, I guess. But like, I don't know where they're going with this. I just didn't like it. I'm like, I don't know, what are you trying to say? Like, oh my god, like every killer had at least interesting motivation. Like Billy and Stu. Stu was an uncontrollable sociopath, and so was Billy. But Billy, his father was cheating on his mom. His mom abandoned him, and that's why he hated Sydney's mom. So him and Stu killed her. And when they got the taste of bloodlust, they started becoming serial killers. And that's what drove him to want to kill Sydney and all her friends. That's a motive. Scream 2 was Billy's mom. And she found Mickey, a psychopath, to help her and work his way into Sydney's crowd, get to know them more, and trap them. And so she can get her revenge on the woman who killed her son. That's a motive. Scream 3 is Roman, Sydney's lost brother. Her mother abandoned him his entire life. And when he finally could find his mother and have a home, she turned her back on him. And that's why he got Billy and Stu to kill her and get his revenge. And now years later, he can get his revenge on his sister, who had the life that he always wanted. That's a motive. Jill. Jill lived in the spotlight that she never had. Sydney had all the fame, had all the glory, wrote the books, had movies inspired by her. Everybody ignored Jill. No one cared about Jill. Jill got jealous. Jill wanted that fame. She wanted everyone to notice her. So what happened? She staged all these murders, and so she could be the final girl, and she could be the main character of the story. Motive. Those are all motives. This one has no motive, really. They are toxic fans who hate these movies, and they're going to seek revenge to be like the original. There's also a couple other motives with like boyfriends and girlfriends, because, that's your boyfriend. Get it? Like the first Scream. Because Sydney's boyfriend, Billy, was the killer. So this movie's doing the same thing. They're like the first movie. And even the final act, they go to Stu's house. Why? Why not? Oh. Wow. This movie, again, is so on the nose. People like it, though. That's fine. This movie, to me, makes absolutely no sense. And not just because of its story, its existence makes no sense. All you had to do for a Scream movie is bring new characters, bring a new Ghostface, bring in the legacy characters if you want to, but if not, just have Ghostface killing people. Have some cool kills, have a cool reveal, good twist, maybe make some funny meta commentary and shit. That's it. But no, this one is like, oh, we got to tie everything into the first one, tie it in. That first one's a classic. You got to tie it in, tie all the characters in, tie the main character. The main girl is Billy's daughter. What? Like, give her some redemption, make her the new Sidney Prescott. Like, come on now. And let's talk about the toxic fandoms. People didn't like, Ryan Johnson's Last Jedi. Let's try to find a way to shoehorn that in a slasher film, which has nothing to do with Star Wars. Scream fans have always been great fans, and they've loved these movies and never been toxic. So I have no idea why they're bringing this bullshit into Scream. Like, I get it, Star Wars, Star Trek, a lot of Marvel. There's a lot of toxic fans in those, those groups. Scream never had toxic fans. Everybody loves the Scream movies. So why are they bringing these conversations and these ideas in the Scream films? Now you're asking to be divided. Scream was for everybody, but now you're bringing this shit up and you're insulting those people who don't like a certain film. I think that's just stupid. So, I know there's some people who agree with me. Some people don't. You know what? That is fine. My rant is just for you guys. I want to let it all out and stuff. I didn't like this movie. Just didn't like it. This, to me, is not Scream. This is not Scream. It feels like a fan movie. Like a real big fan of Scream made like a Scream movie. The budget even feels like a fan movie. Like, it feels like a fan film. That's all it does. It feels like a fan film, and they kind of brought like the legacy characters as cameos, and then they also wanted to say something about like nerd culture and stuff while making a Scream movie. There's some good stuff in it. Not enough for me to like it. I don't recommend it if you still haven't seen it yet, but that's my thoughts and opinions. I think I'm done. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on Scream 5? Did you like this movie? Did you hate it? Are you with the fandom? Are you not with the fandom? Do you agree with the critics? Do you disagree with the critics? Give me thoughts and opinions. Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.